Hey, what's up? My name is Nelson,
And my name is Michael.
and today we are going to be doing a spoiler discussion about Venom.
Let there be carnage.
After finding a host body in investigative reporter Eddie Brock, the alien symbiote must face a new enemy, Carnage, the alter ego of a serial killer, Cletus Cassidy. All right, first off, talk about Tom Hardy. We'll talk about basically the actors. Start out with Tom Hardy. He's great in this, just as good as he was in the first one.
Oh yeah, they definitely didn't change that at all.
I love his overacting in this and
Oh, it's
stuff.
perfect, yeah.
It's so well done.
It's like dramatic stage acting, but better.
It's really good. Yeah, he does this thing like just like he did in the last one. And Tom Hardy's an amazing actor.
The relationship between Venom and Tom Hardy is also beautiful.
Oh man,
It's amazing.
It's so good, and I love that the voice of Venom. I'm pretty sure it's the same voice as Tom Hardy is what I think I heard. Yeah, so yeah, the relationship is amazing between the two. But talk about freaking Woody Harrelson as Carnage.
Oh yeah, he was really good at acting insane. Genuinely, like, he's always been a decent actor. He's normally been pretty outstanding in almost all of his films. And he almost seemed cartoony in this movie, but it fit for the character. Because when someone's insane, they're supposed to be cringy. You're not supposed to... They're supposed to be cringy.
He played it perfectly.
Yeah, he played the character phenomenally. And I'm not sure who voiced Carnage, but they did an amazing job.
Yeah, I don't think it was him, but really good. It felt very scary.
Yeah, it definitely fit with the whole Carnage being a psychopathic symbiote.
Yeah, so like it really fit for the character. I mean, especially because he's a serial killer. The red symbiotes are the most savage symbiotes. I mean, Venom didn't even want to fight him, and that's crazy. But yeah, really good acting all throughout. Even the side characters throughout the movie, really good. For especially this movie being very, I don't want to say corny, being very, it's a goofy type of movie.
Yeah, it's a very goofy superhero movie.
And I felt like this one was a bit better than the first one because it leaned more in to the goofiness of the first one. It dipped its toes, I mean, there's the scene with him getting in the tank with the lobsters and all that. I mean, it's just but this one really just went all in. And the way it's dark too, how dark this movie is. Of course, it should have been rated R, of course. I say this too much on my channel, but it should have been rated R. It's Carnage. That's one freaking problem I have with this. It should have been a rated R movie. It's Carnage. I mean, they're biting people's heads off, and there's no blood.
You did see him bite off the priest's head, but
yeah,
there was zero
no blood.
There was zero
It's like,
blood.
yeah, he bites off that head. There's going to be a lot of blood. No blood. Guy's wearing a white robe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing, but the story was really cool. And just how it happened, how they went about it. It very comic book accurate, shot for shot, just how the symbiote fell off of Eddie, just like we all thought it would be, and really cool. And when Cletus Cassidy's about to be executed, and when he's about to be executed, my guy, woo, it's crazy because he's like, all right, see you later, I'm dead, and his eyes roll in the back of his head. Basically, he dies.
Yeah, he dies,
and
then the
Carnage is like, nah, I need a host.
Yeah, you see Carnage, like, his symbiote, like, comes out and stops the venom and pushes it back into the needle, and then, like, it rips the needle out, and then he just goes crazy. He starts killing everybody.
It's a nuts scene. It really is. He's throwing everybody around, and Shriek in the movie too.
Oh yeah,
we are gonna be all over the place with this review. Just saying, this is not scripted at all. We're just gonna completely go off our minds. But the girl who plays Shriek, played by Naomi Harris, she was great in playing another crazy character.
Once again, cartoony.
Yeah. The beginning of the movie too, when it in the beginning of the movie, it shows how their relationship was, and I love the little backstory you get and how they fell in love at the psych ward.
Oh yeah, and how he draws it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and the drawings and how when Eddie first gets to interview Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah, Cletus Cassidy.
He gets there and he's, trying to figure out where all of these bodies are. Because he left a bunch of bodies and they don't know where he buried them. And Venom sees. He's like, I'm going to do your job for you. He tells Eddie.
Sees the inside of Cletus Cassidy's cell and he sees all the drawings he did. And then Venom was like, I'm going to take control of your body. I'm going to draw these. And I'm going to show you where it's at.
You just see all the... Yeah. It's awesome.
He moves really fast.
Yeah, and he's like drawing these he's like, what do you think? He's like, I'm Picasso.
I'm Picasso? What?
But yeah, and he just kind of slowly shows Eddie because you can tell in this how much Venom's mind is so much quicker than a human's mind.
Mm-hmm.
And he can figure out things, not because he's better than Eddie, because Eddie's been doing it his whole life, or his whole adult life, but because he's an alien. That's at least what I think. It doesn't exactly say that, but that's kind of what I was thinking.
And you can also see how the relationship since the first movie has grown between Venom and Eddie.
Yeah.
Where Venom's personality is exactly like Eddie Brock's.
Yeah.
Because
but
he's
it's
been
more
attached to him for so long and they're perfect.
Way more excelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Eddie Brock times a million.
Yeah.
He's got the smarts and he's got the humor.
Yeah.
And it's just like accelerated. He's also got the anger issues, but
he's a lot more sarcastic like Eddie too. And we've all seen in the scene with the trailer when he makes him breakfast. I wish, I hate trailers, dude. I do. I hate trailers.
I do my best not to watch them.
Yeah, it's such a fun, but when you see that same trailer for the last freaking year in the theaters,
true.
It seems like maybe not a year, but like 6 months. It's like, but. It would have been such a funnier scene to me, and it was still funny, but it just would have been a way more funny scene for me. But yeah, the humor in this, it is so good. It's so good. I just love that we don't have to develop the relationship between the two. But when they end up getting in that argument, and he leaves Eddie's body, and he goes to that party.
Yeah.
That, rave. He goes to, this rave, and he's just, partying with all these people, and they're like, oh, man, what a nice costume you got, man. It's so funny.
And then he goes up on the stage and takes the mic from whatever rapper was there. She was doing Venom, the first Venom song by Eminem. And he starts talking about how Eddie was, holding them back. And none of these people know who Eddie is.
Yeah, they're all like, yeah!
And he says one more thing, and we're like, yeah! And he's like, and now we're free! And he goes, yeah! And then he drops the mic.
Yeah. It's such a funny moment. And just to see how innocent Venom really is. I mean, as innocent as he is, he does want to kill everyone. He wants to... Not everyone.
That's just in his DNA.
He wants to kill bad people. He wants to kill bad people, at least.
Yeah.
And he's gotten a lot... At first, he didn't care who he wanted to eat. So Eddie has taught him how to be more humane, towards people, too. But I thought that was so funny, him at the... And never in my entire adult life would I think that I'd ever see Venom with a bunch of... What are those things called that are on... those things he had around his neck, those light up necklaces.
Oh,
they snap or whatever.
The snap.
Yeah, they snap and light up.
You know what I'm talking about? You see them at raves and shit.
Yeah,
festivals.
It was. I just never in my life would I think I'd see something like that. It was just so funny. It was horrible how he was going from body to body though, because they weren't strong
none of
enough.
Them were compatible.
Yeah, but and for being such a short film, I was scared when I heard it was only an hour and 30 minutes long because
it's too short for a superhero movie.
Yeah, way too short, but they did a lot of stuff and they told you a lot about the new characters, a lot about Shriek, a lot about Cletus, and it was really great. And there was a time where Eddie gets a letter from Cletus saying he wants him to be at his lethal injection, which is how he gets the symbiote. But and he's writing him a letter, and you see this little picture drawing of him drawing himself as a child and going through his whole life. It was a very, very nice way to introduce the character.
Mm-hmm.
It was very cool. It was creepy looking, the drawings. You could just tell he's just a very crazed human being, especially with the drawings and just like everything. And telling his story, I have a hard time feeling bad for him. I don't feel bad for him.
Yeah, like he has a really sad story, not gonna lie.
But he also fucking killed his grandma.
Yeah, he killed his grandma, which, I mean, she abused him. His mom abused him.
Killed her.
He killed them both. He never killed his dad, though.
No.
And his dad abused him.
Yeah.
But he never said anything about killing his dad.
Yeah, but it just... Yeah, I still had a hard time feeling bad for him. I just did not care. But Eddie gets to when he gets there and he starts talking to him, and somehow he knows everything about Eddie's life. He tells Venom just kind of, hey, I got this. Don't, you remember? He's like, I got this, And he's like, this is a me thing, not a you thing. And he's
always a you thing.
Yeah. But he gets him there, and Cletus starts to talk things about Eddie's life, which it doesn't explain as to why he would know that. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, really, with Eddie Brock, he's kind of like a micro celebrity. How he used to be like this real big reporter.
Yeah, but does everybody
so probably
know?
just look up his life.
I guess. I mean, I just don't know what. I just don't think him as a person. I wouldn't think he'd tell everybody about his life.
Sure.
But it starts to make Venom mad. He tells Venom to stay in, and he starts to make Venom mad, and Venom kind of grabs onto him,
reaches through the bars and grabs Cassidy,
and he's throwing them all around, and then finally Eddie kind of gets him back in, and he's like, he stops him from doing what he's doing.
Cletus bites his hand, and he's like, Eddie, I've tasted blood. That's not it.
Yeah. And that's basically
how he gets Carnage.
Yeah, how he gets Carnage.
He pulls the blood out of his mouth, and he looks at it, and it's moving, like it's the symbiote, like the alien.
And it looked just like Carnage.
And then he was like, and swallowed it, like a psychopath.
But, we already talked about the whole lethal injection thing and how that's how Carnage, or that's how Carnage finally, saved him. But, let's talk about the prison scene when he's basically just destroying everybody in prison. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, my God. So right after the lethal injection, dude, he starts going ham on everybody around him, biting off heads left and right, killing dudes. The friggin' warden, he's running forever, and just cops kept stepping in front of the warden, so the warden chase was like an hour long. But
that's what he's trying to get to, because
all the prisoners are freaking out. They're all out of their cells and shit. They're trying to run and hide, and he doesn't even touch one of the prisoners, not a single one. He just attacks the cops.
Yeah,
and he's killing the cops, and then a table flies out and just knocks over the warden, and then he picks up the warden and is like, any last words? The warden was like, please don't eat me, or please don't kill me.
Yeah, something like that.
And then he just goes,
I have a family. Oh, I
have a family. That's what he says.
But that's when Eddie and Venom get in a huge fight. Mm-hmm. And he goes off to the rave. Sorry, again, we are totally going all over the place.
They get in the fight, and then Venom's like, get out! And Eddie's like, this is my apartment.
Yeah, he tells him to get out. After they end the fight between Eddie and Venom, it was funny and actually a good fight.
Mm-hmm. He turns on the fire alarm, and then you know how the sound hurts.
Yeah, he grabs it.
The aliens.
He grabs it real quick, turns it on, and he's like, ah,
and he freaks out
because he just
gets out of Eddie.
That's the
and
thing,
leaves.
though. Eddie knows all of Venom's weaknesses. Mm-hmm. That's the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
oh my gosh, when Venom throws the TV out the window.
Oh, that's when he was like, I'm out of here, He was like, I'll kill this. Oh, the chickens.
I'll kill the chicken.
What did he name the chickens?
I don't remember.
Oh, man, I'm never going to remember. It was
Venom
so funny.
said they were best friends, though.
Yeah. He was like friends. He was like, let's, kill these things, he tells him he's going to throw away his friends. But, he leaves, and it's crazy, little nitpick. It's like, why Eddie's not concerned at all that Venom's gone.
He just wanted peace.
Venom's been trying to eat all these people forever, but yes, he just wanted peace, but it's like...
He worries after a few hours.
Yeah.
But it's a few hours after when Carnage escapes.
Yeah, and of course, he gets he turns on the TV, He gets that new TV, turns on the TV, and he hears that Cletus Cassidy's out. And of course, because Eddie figured out where all those dead bodies were, because Venom figured it out, you know, Cletus is going to want to kill him. So that was, when he sees it on the news, he gets a call, "You still alive?" That's and the cop, he was awful in this, in my opinion. He was very annoying to me, and it's just like...
He was like how they portray an FBI agent in every movie that's not about the FBI.
Yeah.
How they're like dickheads.
Yeah, he basically just annoyed me for the most part. It's definitely a character I could have done without.
Yeah.
Or done better. The guy was a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it could have been done a little bit better. But yeah, Stephen Graham, yeah, he was pretty good in it. It's just, I don't know, his character, just the way they wrote his character was kind of annoying to me. But yeah, he gets there and he, you know, tells him he's out, and that's when you know, Eddie goes and, you know, investigates the old asylum.
Yeah. Cletus Cassidy and Shriek decide that they want to get married because that's what he promised her.
Yeah.
He said, "My angel forever," or some shit like that. So yeah, they're at the church and they're getting married. They got the priest and everything. They're just waiting on Eddie Brock to show up. So they go through the ceremony or whatever. They get to the part where they're about to, like, you know, where the priest is about to be like, "You may kiss the bride" type thing. And then Eddie Brock shows up and he's like, you know, it's Venom. You know, it's Venom. He walks in. He's like, "Cletus!" And he's like, "Eddie!" And then he turns into Carnage. And then Carnage is like, "Hello, father."
Yeah, that was like, yeah, that's true.
Yep. And then that whole fight happens.
But
and there's a scene. I thought that shit was going to be like Spider-Man. Eddie Brock's ex-girlfriend, she's at the top of the fucking clock tower.
Oh,
and she goes to fall.
It was totally
hinting towards Spider-Man.
It was. The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Except in this one, he was able to lower her down.
Yeah. This one, he was able to lower her down.
Yeah.
But
and then he sees him turn into Carnage, and Venom's like, "Yeah, that's a red one. I'm out of here." And then he just, like, basically leaves, and Eddie's just standing there like, "Yo, are you gonna... Dude, you're leaving me naked here."
Yeah, he's like...
I need your help here, bud. And then he's like, "I promise I'll let you eat all the bad guys if you fight the red one."
Everybody but the priest.
Everybody but the priest.
He dies anyways. But yeah, the fight though. The fighting in this was 10 times better between Carnage and Venom than it was in the last one. I had a huge problem with the last one and how it was basically every time they fought, it was like this big ball of goo, and then every so often they'd come out and you'd see Eddie and the other guy, you know, and then they'd come back together and just be this big ball rolling around.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it actually looked like they were fighting.
Yeah, it looked like it was from the comics.
Yes, and they were.
The way the fights
were, you know, the fists were landing, you know, knives were landing, you know, and it wasn't just a big ball. And just kudos to that.
Yeah, and the production value for this movie was definitely.
No, it looked so much better in this one. Yeah, but with the whole Shriek thing, Shriek's power is the yelling real loud.
Yeah, and it's the noise that the aliens hate.
Yeah, and Carnage can't handle that. And the first time he hears her scream, he tells Cletus, "I'll kill her if she screams like that again." He's like, "I'll rip her face off."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was just like, how is that gonna work, you know? And she does it again during the fight, and Carnage basically just says, "I'm gonna kill her," you know, and and Cletus, he loves her so much. It's basically the only like humanity the guy has.
Yeah, he fights against Carnage not to kill her.
Yeah.
And it ends up working.
Yeah. Just the chemistry between those two actors too was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. And Venom actually ended up using Screech's power against Carnage to kill Carnage.
And Venom thought of it.
Yeah. And Venom was like, and he just smacks her, and he gets angry.
What makes Venom and Eddie really work together well is when Eddie tells Venom. It's a very sweet moment. Very sweet moment. It really got me. I was like, oh man, what an awesome moment. Eddie tells Venom that, hey, you can see when they're arguing about the girl, you can see that they're not compatible. We are compatible. That's how we can win. And that's when they use the sound to their advantage. And then Venom basically just balls Carnage up and just eats him.
Mm-hmm.
And
and then he walks up to Cletus Cassidy and picks him up, and then half the face goes away, and you can see Eddie Brock's face under. Basically, Cletus Cassidy, he's like, what I wanted most, and Eddie Brock's like, what? And he's like, I wanted you to be my friend, Eddie. And then he's like, I'm sorry. And then Venom's like, F this guy, and eats him.
Yeah, it was an awesome moment. And then, like, the whole time, at the beginning of the movie, Venom said he wanted to go to, like, the beach and put his toes. He wanted to walk toes in the sand and hair, his hair in the wind.
Flowing in the
wind.
And
Eddie's like, you don't have hair, man. And he's like, whatever.
I think they go to, like, Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
something
like that.
It's a country like that.
Yeah, but it's they're in the sand. It doesn't exactly. I don't think it exactly
It's
says.
kind of like the Bahamas.
But
really,
they're he's got his feet in the sand, and he's you can see Eddie's sitting there, and he's like like this. He got his feet up like that, and you just see
Venom's
feet, and so it's kind of like both of them enjoying the sun, and like he wanted his toes in the sand, and Eddie, just got to enjoy the sun, and and then that's basically the end of the movie, and I was like, pretty good movie, but then we get to this little thing called a post-credit scene.
Yeah. Everybody's freaking out about this one. Okay, so in the post-credit scene, Eddie's laying in the bed and he's talking to Venom. He's in the hotel room or whatever place they were at.
Yeah, they're laying there relaxing.
And Eddie's like, you never tell me anything about your past. And Venom's like, well, about 80 billion years of world history beyond Earth would collapse your freaking mind.
Yeah.
And Eddie's like, just show me something. And then Venom's like, all right, okay. And he's about to like show him like some of the things that Venom has seen over the time that he's been alive. And then this glitch happens. It's just a glitch. And all of a sudden they're in this different universe, and they end up looking on the TV at the news, and they see when
J. Jonah Jameson.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you're like, oh man.
That's when you're like, oh shit.
What's happening? And Hunter, my cousin Hunter.
Oh my god. I haven't seen him that excited in a long time.
He grabs me as soon as he sees J. Jonah Jameson. Practically, I'm sitting on the bottom. I'm sitting below them. He practically picks me up out of my seat. I'm feeling the exact excitement. And then all of a sudden,
friggin' Tom Holland is on the TV in Spider-Man. And all you hear is, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And then Venom's like, maybe this guy knows how I got here. And then he like licks the TV.
Yeah, he basically says he's going to get him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, too.
And this is how No Way Home is going to happen.
Yeah,
we're going to get all those villains. Venom's going to be there.
I think that Spider-Man and Venom at the end, we'll talk a little bit about what I think is going to happen. Spider-Man and Venom will team up to take down the rest of the Sinister Six. Mm-hmm. I feel like Venom is probably going to be the last member of the Sinister Six. In the trailer, you see Green Goblin, you see Doc Ock, you see the Electric, you see the Sand, and then you see a little bit of the Lizard. Well, there was one more we needed.
Yeah.
And now we got Venom. And, it's without saying that it's definitely Doctor Strange when he does the spell. It's got to be. And what else could it be?
I got to say, if Andrew Garfield is not in this movie, I'm suing the creators.
And Tobey Maguire, my guy.
And Tobey Maguire. I'm suing the creators.
Yeah, at this point, if they're not in it, I'm going to be very, very, very upset.
It will definitely hinder on the percentage. Yeah. For sure.
But, for
my... It's the multiverse.
Right.
Miles Morales, like a live version of Miles Morales should be there, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely would love to see Miles Morales.
That would be cool. That they chose, like, an actual live actor to play.
Yeah. Which I'd love the cartoon one. I wish there was just a way. Mm-hmm. The guy who voices him would be I don't know if he's Puerto Rican or not. You gotta have an African American Puerto Rican actor for sure.
Yeah, just to fit with the way the cartoon is designed.
But I would love to see him come in too. But there's so much going on. I just hope we don't get the same treatment we got with this Amazing Spider-Man 2 with all those characters and Spider-Man 3. It's the only worries I have. But it's the MCU doing their thing. Mm-hmm. They know what they're doing.
They're
gonna get it done.
They always do. We love it.
Yeah. So, but we'll do our scores now. For my score for this movie, I'm going to give it a 73%.
I was in the theater and I gave it about an 85% is what I think I gave it. Right after the movie, I was like, damn, that's a good movie. I gave it an 85.
It was a very, very good movie. I didn't say too much about what I didn't like. The only things I really didn't like about it were just some of the dialogue in the movie was a little bit weird for me. You know,
Yeah, there was a few.
I
weird
felt like
lines.
even though it was so short, yeah, they did everything they needed to do. Sometimes I felt some things were happening that didn't need to really happen. So that's kind of why I didn't give it the highest percentage. But still, 73 is not bad. But if you like what I'm doing on this channel, like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at NelsonReviews. Follow me on Letterboxd at Nelson48.
Follow me on Instagram at Michael Raven T. Follow me on Letterboxd at She Gokai. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, or your mom's gonna get hepatitis.
Peace out.
Deuces.